All right, what's going on, everybody? So the Greater Cause update for Lightyear Frontier has dropped. It has been released. I thought we would go over the patch notes and we go over the roadmap. I give you my thoughts, and then I'm going to get into some things that I would like to see in the game coming up. But yeah, let's get into it. So the Greater Cause update is up. It was released on September 29th. It isn't as big as the Shifting Gears update, but that's okay. Any update is fine with me. So let's get into it. And this is what the devs say. I'm going to briefly go over the patch notes so you get an idea of what's in the game. So if you haven't been playing the game in a while, you can jump back into it and see the stuff for yourself. It's been a while since the Shifting Gears update dropped, and in that time we have received a lot of great feedback from y'all. We've been working hard to address that feedback, and we're happy to finally be able to share the results. Our next update, Greater Cause. The goal of the Greater Cause update is to add a greater sense of purpose, humanity, and soul to the game through narrative changes, the addition of some friendly new faces, and a whole new ways to come together with your fellow players. The update is smaller than Shifting Gears and more focused on a few specific parts of the experience. I can't really say that I personally ever felt like the game was being soulless or anything like that with doing the deliveries and stuff like that. This game is very much just my time to kind of chill out and relax by myself, and I guess being an only child, it's like I'm alone on a planet. Yeah, I'm kind of used to this. All right, so make a difference. We heard from many of you that you wanted to know more about how you ended up on the planet and what your purpose is. To answer that, we reworked the intro to make it more clear and give you a stronger purpose. You're not just another settler. You volunteered to save the last colonies of humanity in the Lightyear Frontier. After leaving a dying Earth behind, you're set to provide direly needed aid to the long abandoned frontier, which I'm going to put the new intro in the video. Either it'll be before or after this, or right here. But yeah, I'll put the intro in there for you. The intro, they did a much better job, and I like the changes that they made. So yeah, and then you can see all the planets that are now calling out for help. And of course, here you are, the center of the universe. Meet the faces of the frontier. Some of you felt that making deliveries felt lacking in human connection, and you're right. We took this feedback to heart and have worked on getting more humanity and character into the game. Yeah, see this right here, I didn't even think about that. Like, that's something I really didn't think about. And I have to admit, I haven't really been in the game to make too many deliveries. I started a whole new save file just so I can see the intro and see if there was any new stuff at the beginning of the game that would be worth putting into a playthrough video. But I decided that this was much better served to do a video like this, as opposed to just going through all the motions from the beginning again. So I haven't had a chance to develop a connection with these characters just yet, but the fact that they're there is really cool. So like I said, I didn't even think about that part. As you make contact with each planet, you'll now hear from the representatives. By supplying their needs, you'll earn their trust and learn more about each colony's unique culture and challenges. And I think that's really kind of cool. Again, a lot of people I know were wanting more lore into the story of the people that inhabited your planet before. So this really does, I think, is going to add a lot more depth to the game and to the story of the game. All right, each delivery you send brings their settlements closer to stability and prosperity. Along the way, your depending bond with each planet's representative shows why your contribution truly matters. And then they have an example here. So we have Polaris Ferreris. Oh man, this is gonna be fun to be pronouncing all these names. Oh man, the Dome project has been stalling for a while, and we need all the help we can get, else we might not be able to stay on this planet much longer. Guess where they're gonna move to if they have to abandon this planet? That's right, probably yours. All right. Uniting community efforts for global progress. Looking for something new to do with all those resources you got stored away? Well, you're in luck, because Prometheus Station is calling all exofarmers to support the development of new mech technologies. This right here is one of their best ideas and things that they could have ever put in the game. I'm going to continue. Join forces with your fellow exofarmers in massive research initiative challenges. Once completed, the research breakthroughs will yield brand new recipes available for every player. Every delivery counts, and you will need to work together to get the job done. New research initiatives will appear over time, so keep those silos stocked. All right, now this is announcing their first research initiative. We're kicking off the first research initiative today. Prometheus Station is asking for Hollyberry, maximum 100 per player, copper wire, maximum 250 per player, wheat seed, maximum 10,000 per player. Whew. That's gonna be nuts. If the community completes the initiative, all players will unlock the recipe for the following mod chip. Hardened seeds increase the seed shooter's impact damage by 1. Wait a minute. Does that mean we could shoot seeds at the explodey thingies? Interesting. Or if you're on multiplayer and you have damage turned on, we can have mech battles. That's brilliant. I'm gonna have to try that now. So when we get when we finally unlock this, I'm gonna have to try that. Sounds like a great idea. Got an excess of seeds you don't know what to do with? With the hardened seeds mod chip, you can use a seed shooter to break down resources from afar. Oh, okay. Oh no, oh my. That's gonna be fun. Combine that with a couple of tools speed mod chips and you'll have a vertical minigun on your hands. Just be aware that dealing damage will consume the seed, so shoot responsibly. But did we also mention that the mod chip can stack? Have fun tinkering to find the perfect balance of damage and firing speed. That is the coolest thing ever. Oh my god, that's gonna be so much fun. Okay, I gotta jump back into my main game and start sending stuff out, because I have an overabundance of a few of these things. And here we have Professor Antimony? 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 Hold on a second. Antimony. Professor Antimony. There we go. Really, I learned how to read, I swear. All right, here's the deal. The Department of Agri-Mechanical Experimental Technologies is looking for so many big words. I'm a very simple man. Is looking for donations to develop new technology for all the mechs out there. We just need a couple 100,000 components to get going on. No biggie. Oh wow. I mean, honestly, for the amusement value alone, this goal is perfect. So again, if you haven't played in a while, jump back into the game and let's work together to get the seed shooter, because oh my gosh, I can't wait for that. This is gonna be the best thing ever. I'm just gonna go through the whole freaking map just mowing down trees. Oh no, experiment time. I'll be sure to, when that does come out, I will be sure to make a video of just that alone. And like I said, I think having some mech battles would be amazing. All right, so then we have share saves with your friends. Now this is something I was interested in. Playing together is a great way to experience Lightyear Frontier, but we know that getting the whole gang together for a session isn't always easy. That's why we're introducing shared saves, which can be shared with other players so they can host the save while you're offline. This is a great idea. Create a shared save, invite your friends, and now they have access to that save whenever they want to play. It's that simple. Any progress made will automatically be synced between players via the cloud. You can create shared copies of standard save files and vice versa. This is an amazing idea to have because they're right. Like I have a friend who plays this game too, and it's always hard for us to get on the same page to get online to play together, because either I'm doing something completely different, or you know she's doing something completely different, and it's just hard to link up like that. And this also prevents having to, you know, get your own server and stuff like that. This is a very, very awesome idea. I wish more games would implement something like this. All right, I'm not gonna go through all of this, but I'm gonna go through a little bit. So highlights, I think I'll just go through the highlights here. Planet representatives have been added to the delivery menu, each of their own star. Okay, so this is basically what we just read through. All right, I think we're gonna save this part. We're gonna skip this part. So I'm gonna skip away from the changes and the bug fixes, because I want to get right here to the roadmap, because it's a brand new roadmap. Alongside working on the greater cause update, we've also been planning the road ahead, and that means updating our roadmap. Since last time, we've made a lot of progress on our concepts and exploration, and now have multiple features in active development for the next update. As a result, the exploration stack is a bit slim at the moment, but we'll start filling up again once we wrap up what's currently being worked on. All right. Well, that's good, because now we'll have a chance to go over, you know, the thoughts that I think that should be in the game, and hopefully maybe we'll take a few of those ideas. All right, so let's go over this, and this is what's in development for a future update. More mech customization. I'm very curious about that. I mean, I love the fact that we have so many different mech parts and stuff like that. I do wish that we could have a few more color options, in terms of, like, instead of just there being a main color and a secondary color, I wish there was maybe like a third color, possibly. I think having a third color would be kind of cool, at least for for a few of the designs. New biome. This is something I'm very, very curious about, of what it's going to be like, because looking at it now, it looks like the yellow area in the old map. If you play the game since launch, we used to be on a completely different map, and the area was very, very yellow, and like a fall type of area, and that's kind of what it looks like now when you look across the water and see it. It looks like almost like a fall type area. So I'm not sure if it's gonna stay that way or if they're gonna change it. But I'm very excited to explore, because when they came out of Texicon Valley and I got to explore that area, that was totally different than anything they had in the old game, you know, in the old map. That was a brand new idea, and I absolutely love it. You know, granted it's a pain in the butt to traverse, but it's a cool concept. And I still really want to build a base right by that dinosaur skeleton, like right in front of that, build a giant freaking castle. I think that'd be awesome. The only thing I can't bring myself to do is then I have to traverse that area and get to and from. So a few things I'm wondering about the new biome also is what kind of animals are going to be in the new biome, because we already have a good selection of animals. I do want more, and I am wondering what they're going to come up with next, because when they came out with the crystal deer in this update, that was like one of the most beautiful animals I have seen in this game. You know, they're all great and everything, but I absolutely love those things. Those things are so beautiful, so pretty. I can't wait for more. So I'm curious what animals are going to come out. Like, leave me a comment leave a comment down below what you think the animals are going to be like. What I think would be cool for a biome, and developers, you can take this idea if you want to. I don't need any credit, but I think what would be really cool for a biome would be like a bioluminescent biome. So like maybe everything looks nice during the daytime. Like it can look like dull during the daytime, but at night it just pops and like there's neon colors, explosion all over the place, glowing mushrooms, glowing flowers, glowing trees with leaves and stuff like that. I think that'd be amazing. I would love to see that kind of thing in the game. And I would totally build my base there. Okay, so then we also have more building pieces and decorations, which is awesome because we do not have enough. We do not have enough. I mean, there's definitely not like, I mean, I guess if you're going for a certain style, there is, but I'm always down for more. I like having variety. I like having different stuff that I can do because maybe I want to build a house in a different part of the map and I want to theme it to that part of the map. So yeah, that I'm excited for. And it would also give some variety when it comes to, you know, building. Now that we can actually build our own house. New delivery milestones. Yeah, that's going to be a definite because I'm just about at the brink of what I can be at this point. So interested to see what the rewards are going to be for those. Let's see here. We have mech powered resource hauling. So that one, I believe the beta is currently going on right now. And from what I saw, it's the mech carrying a bunch of different stuff on its shoulder. And then we're also apparently going to be getting trailers, which is going to be great because I built a base in one area that I would love to move away from, and I'm building it currently in another spot. And moving all that material from one place to another is the biggest pain in the butt, especially when you can only teleport to a base one time during a day. More traversal options, please. Airplane. Airplane, transform into airplane. I think one of those is going to be they're bringing the water glide back again. If you played before the Shifting Gears update, we used to be able to water glide across the water for a limited time, and I do believe that's coming back. But I also wonder if there's going to be other ones, maybe not necessarily flying, but a glide ability would be kind of cool. Like not a hand glider, because we have that every other freaking cozy game. We don't need that in this one. But having a mech with wings would be kind of cool. I'm just saying. I think gliding would be pretty awesome. So I'm again very curious about that. Advanced crafting constructs. Not entirely sure what they mean by that. Advanced crafting constructs. I wonder if they mean... No, that would be up here. Because more building... Oh, I'm sorry. I missed more building pieces and decorations. How did I miss that? Wow. Hello, dyslexia. Dyslexia strikes again. So yeah, we definitely need more decorations. There's not enough. It's like you give me this ability to make this big house. What do I fill it with? I only have so much. So we definitely need more decorations. I don't know what advanced crafting constructs is. I have no clue. I have nothing to say to that. Mineral growth enhancers. Does that mean we can make them grow faster? Maybe we have something on our farm that would grow the minerals itself. So instead of having to, you know, walk all over the map to collect all these resources, you can put down a few that'll grow themselves, and you can harvest so many a day. That'd be kind of neat. I know in Pal World they have it so you can put down like a station of like trees so you can harvest wood, and they have rock so you can harvest rock, and the same thing with sulfur and every other mineral in the game. So if they had that in this one, that'd be really awesome. You know, so you could just get it right from right there, and instead of having to go in across the whole dang map over and over again. All right, so in exploration they have mod support, which I'm totally okay with no mods. I mean, if I'm being honest, I like mods in some games. They're fun. They can be fun, but I prefer to play my games without them if I can handle it. You know, sometimes if there's a few certain things in the game that a mod could help, sure, but to me that's not as exciting. Unless then someone makes a mod where we can make our mechs look like the Megazord from the Power Rangers, or Voltron, or Optimus Prime. Yeah, there's a reason why I love this game so much. It pretty much brings me back to my childhood of giant robots. Okay, and then we have expanded automation. So I wonder if that means they're going to look into something where the robots that water your crops will also plant seeds and harvest, or maybe even transport certain things to other places like the storage areas. That'd be kind of cool. Although one of the coolest things about this game is the way you plant seeds, and also the way you water. You know, I mean, just having that freaking rapid fire gun where it's just like that was one of the most awesome things. That changed up my farming so much. Like, it's like, this is fantastic. But I wonder what other kinds of automation there will be, because I know when again, before shifting gears, I know the talk of watering drones was brought up, and I didn't think that was going to be in the game. Like, there's no way they're going to put that in the game. Like, come on, you're asking for a lot, because some people make these giant fields of crops, and I'm like, good lord, how do you, what, why? This is before we had all these goals to do and all this other stuff. Now it's like, dear lord. So again, very curious what that's going to be. I would definitely most likely think and presume that it's going to be seeding and harvesting. Here's some things they are considering: deeper farming and fertilizers. I don't know what deeper farming would mean. I wonder if that means, because we have the different types of soil, which if I'm being honest with you, I just plant the seeds and whatever grows. I'm like, this is confusing. You guys really got into this, didn't you? Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I'm wondering if they're going to come up with different mutated plants and different types of soil. So then you'd have the different types of fertilizer, and you can change up maybe the mutations of the plants and stuff like that. That might be interesting. Do I think it's needed? No, personally. But I know some people like to have a little bit more complexity to their stuff. Me, I'm a very simple person. I just want to put seed in the ground and something grow, and I'm happy with that. I'm happy something grew in the first place. Day transition overhaul. I wonder if this means instead of stopping you dead in your tracks when the day transitions, it'll just let you continue on. Because I gotta tell you, like there's like, I'll be working on something and then I have to pause because the day has to change and it has to tell me I'm on day 100 and whatever, and I'm like, does that matter? Does that really matter to me? It does not. So I'm curious if that's what they're talking about. Fast travel integration, yes. As I was talking about before, I think that if you're out in the field, like just out in the world, I think transporting back to your base once a day is fair, because otherwise it's just, you know, it's almost too easy if it lets you do it over and over again. But I think what you should be able to do is at least travel from base to base an infinite number of times. So if you have your one farm on one end of the map and your other farm on the other end of the map, I think being able to travel between those two would be fair to just do it infinite amount of times. Map pin improvements. Sure, I guess. Again, something I don't really have too much of an issue with now, but I'm sure other people could, you know, maybe someone else has that problem. I don't know, but you know, I'm always up for improvements. That's always good. Game finale. This is something that people have been asking about for a while. Like what's the end goal of the game? Is there something that we're working toward and stuff like that? See, my thing with cozy games is I do like it when there is something at the end and then you can just keep playing after that. But to me, it's not the most pressing matter in the world. But I do think having a finale would be cool. You know, tie everything together, kind of like a nice little congratulations, and we can all have a teary moment of all we've worked for. And you know, we started with nothing and we built up to this big farm and we saved the galaxy and the frontier. It made everyone happy. That'd be cool. That would be really cool. And then post-game activities, yeah. And again, this is why I was saying for me the game finale isn't really that important, because I'm just gonna keep playing. Although I do notice that when you have a goal to get to, you tend to keep going, as opposed to if just left to your own devices, it's not as frequent. You're gonna eventually just burn out and go, well, what am I working toward? I'm producing to produce more, to produce more, to produce more, and all of a sudden the whole darn freaking planet is nothing but your own personal farm with just fields of everything. So yeah, like post-game activities, having some goals there would be really cool. And again, I'm going to be going into that with my things that I would like to see added into the game personally. Okay, so their ongoing is performance and stability. Again, something I haven't had that much problem with. This game has actually been very stable for me personally. Don't know how it's been for everybody else, but for me, I haven't had much of a problem. But I'm glad that they're focusing on that. Balance adjustments. I do think that there's certain things in the game could be better balanced. Fuel consumption being one of them. The amount of freaking repair kits it takes to actually repair different parts of your mech, I think is a little excessive. I'm like, you could just be a couple more, like one. You know, like the fact that I feel like I have to carry 75 freaking repair kits on me at all times, a little ridiculous, you know? Just saying. World tweaks. Not entirely sure what that's all going to entail. Usability improvements. Again, not entirely sure what they're talking about there. So I really have nothing to say to either one of those. And at the bottom they have, we love your feedback, share your thoughts and suggestions on a roadmap in our Discord. This is something I'm going to give a big shout out to the Discord. Come and join it. If you're playing this game, come and join the Discord. It is a seriously awesome, positive community, and I love hanging out there. And it's not overwhelming like a lot of Discords are, where, you know, people are posting every 5 seconds. You do have some chats that will go a little quicker than others, but for the most part it's actually pretty chill, and you can actually get a word in, as opposed to I've been in other discords where it's like the freaking text doesn't stop, or you know, I say something like I can't like reply to other people, it's in slow mode, and it just takes forever. This Discord's really chill, really awesome. You know, they're great at answering any kind of questions you might have, and if you are having some questions that you need answering, I do have some videos that you can check out on my channel. I have some tutorials. I will be getting to more soon, I promise. But also in the comments, let me know like what kind of videos you guys would like to see for a tutorial. If you're having any specific issues or problems or specific questions, post them in the comments down below, and maybe give me some ideas to do some more tutorials for. Okay, well that wraps up with the official news from Lightyear Frontier. Now we are going to get on to what I would like to see in the game. And again, you might disagree with some of these, and that's totally fine. These are just my personal opinions, things I think would be really cool. And you know, let me hear some of your ideas too, because again, you know, maybe the developers will be listening and watching, and maybe they'll take some of these ideas and put them in the game. This is also a list I've been waiting for a long time to do. It was just when I first wrote it out, the developers took about 5 or 6 of the things I had written out and already put them in the game before I can do the video, and I'm like, well, okay, thanks guys. Now I gotta remake the list. This time though, I think I'm ahead of them. All right, so the first thing that I would like to see in the game, and this is probably the most far-fetched out of everything that I have, but I would love an underwater biome. I would love to be able to take the mech and explore the ocean floor, you know, have some special resources down there for some, you know, maybe some special decorations. You know, maybe we can have an aquarium. Maybe we can even like build a little bit under the water, you know, like a little glass tube or whatever. Again, I'm a big ocean nut, so anything underwater is automatically, you know, on my list. But I think that'd be really cool. And again, this is probably the most far-fetched thing I can ever think of for the game. Next up, I have written down more characters moving onto the planet. So how we have Ulf and Diane already living on our planet, and they give us missions and objectives to do, and they have their own special purposes. Like Ulf, you know, gives you the mutated seeds, and Diane helps you with the animals. I would like to see maybe some of these other representatives that live on the other planets, like maybe they send a representative to live on the planet, and this way maybe they collect certain stuff that is relating to their home planet, and or maybe they sell you stuff that their planet specializes in. This would be kind of cool, because then you could build like a little town and just have like a few more people, so you know, so the planet doesn't feel as lonely. It fills it up a little bit. I think that'd be really cool, and I would really love to see that. So hopefully that's something that will be coming. Next on my list, I have fishing, because why not? This is a nice cozy game, and I would just love to sit there as my exo farmer with my you know, sitting on like a lawn chair, fishing in the ocean. Maybe one of the planets, you know, that can be an objective for one of the planets is to send them fish for research purposes or whatever. Or like I said, maybe we can have in like a little aquarium that we can keep all the fish in. That'd be awesome. Again, that's probably still, that might be a little bit far-fetched, but also, how cool would it be to be in a mech and have a fishing mechanic? It'd be amazing. My opinion. I would like to also see more animals, both farm and randomly appearing wild animals. So for an example, when you're looking out over the ocean and we have that nice beautiful water out there, seeing like a giant sea creature like a whale jump and breach out of the water, you know, randomly, would be really, really cool. Like it's a random event that just happens, and you know, there's no time or reason. It doesn't do anything. It's just a really cool visual. Or like have like smaller like dolphin-like creatures, like, you know, jumping out of the water and you know, swimming to a different part of the world or whatever. You know, something like that, or like different birds that fly overhead. I mean, they already have like definitely a lot of creatures that don't really do anything in the game, like the different bugs and the different little mini birds and stuff like that. But like having more flying overhead every once in a while, like a migrating flock of geese or whatever, like they fly over every so often and stuff like that. Just like little random events, but also there's more animals in general that we can keep as pets. Maybe like a little dog would be cool, or a cat. You know how we have like the cat and dog and pig bushes or hedge statues. You know, having like an actual pet that like follows us around and like rides with us in the mech would be kind of cool. You know, then we gotta feed them and all that stuff. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I definitely think more animals would be a really cool idea. Then I have also listed more community events and goals. This is something I think they're gonna do anyways, but I wanted to put a little bit more emphasis on it, and you know, say that they can do this kind of stuff for, you know, prizes for the participants, like special decorations, trophies, mech parts, etc. There's a lot of different stuff that you can do that would keep people playing and jump into the game, so they can, you know, get these collectibles and all that stuff. Plus, I think it really brings the community together as a whole. I know that like when I played Sea of Thieves before in the past, we had goals to go out and do to earn certain cosmetics for our ships and stuff like that. I was more apt to go out into the world myself and start playing more often and doing these things just so we can earn that stuff. And so I think having that around more often would be really, really awesome. And I think that would get people coming back to the game more often to play and playing for longer. Another thing I would like to see is changing seasons. So currently we have weather, which is great because a lot of cozy games don't. You know, it's like, I like the rainy days. One, I don't have to water, but just walking around in the mech with the rain hitting the windshield is the most relaxing thing ever. And then with that awesome score music playing in the background, I mean, it's just so perfect. So having some changing seasons would be kind of cool. Either keeping up with you know, normal seasons, like they could do it, you know, in real time. So when it's summertime, it looks like this out. When it's wintertime, which we're coming up on soon, then it'll start snowing and stuff like that. You don't have to do it that way. You can do like an in-game year, and you know, like each season lasts for so many days and that's it. And maybe have it so like certain crops only grow in certain seasons, so you have to keep rotating the crops out. I think that'd be kind of cool. Again, it you know, not something that's needed, but you know, when it's just like the same weather all the time, it's like, oh, you know, I would like to see how this place looks when it's covered in snow, you know, or fall, or even spring. Because I know in Animal Crossing, when spring would come around and we had the cherry blossoms, you know, pop up in the trees, that was like magical. It was just so cool. Like, you know, you'd wake up one day, turn on your game, and all of a sudden there's a bunch of freaking cherry blossom trees all over the place. Now everything's super colorful, and it was just great. So that's something I would like to see. We're talking about the traversing of the mech options. A boat mode would be really cool. You know, there's so much there's that big open ocean out there, so much more map to discover, and we can't get out there. But with a boat, with the mech transforming into a boat, maybe we could. And then maybe there's little hidden ocean islands out there, maybe with more lore, maybe with special surprises, maybe special animals, special trees, different resources, stuff like that. Once again, I think that'd be cool. And again, I'm gonna stay at Ocean Nut. I want to be on the water, you know, but maybe just like some other islands, maybe where you can build like out in an island that's a bigger island out there. You have your farm on the middle of the ocean. That'd be my place to go. All right, so the next thing I have listed is play games with the farm animals. I don't understand why we don't have like why we can't play fetch with our farm animals, or even like with the little crabs, like blow bubbles and have them pop them. You know what I mean? Like, you know, then they can like pop them, or you know, like even like a laser pointer and have them follow the laser around and, you know, do stuff like that. But like, you know, some toys that we can just kind of play with, like tug of war, for instance, would be really cool. Like either in the mech or as the farmer. I just think playing games with the farm animals would help to, one, build the bond between your farm animals and yourself, or if they're gonna put like maybe like a pet in the game, you know, that'd be really, really cool to do. And then kind of piggybacking off that idea, I have decorations that double as mini games. So here's an example. We have those football uprights or goals, and then we have that whole we have that ball that levitates. And you know, if you're multi playing with friends, have a scoreboard to keep score, that either you can keep score manually yourself and just like uptick, you know, when someone gets a goal, you go over to the scoreboard and hit a number so it goes up and you can clear it when you want to start a new game, or have the scoreboard have sensors that attach to the goalposts, so when you like maybe put the ball through the uprights or put the ball into a goal, it'll count it automatically. I don't think we need to do automatically, but doing it manually would be fine too. Something like that. Or because we have the car mode, we can maybe timers with sensors for races, either like a time trial or like a lap sort of thing. You could build your own racetrack, and then, you know, you're playing with your friend, you can like race your friends in the mech and see who wins the race. So I think stuff like that would be really, really cool, because then I think it would give us a little bit more to do in the game. The one problem that I always have when it comes to cozy games and multiplayer is the only things that I'm able to do with my friends is basically just tend to my farm, and that's about it. You know, maybe decorate a little bit, but there's really nothing else to do with your friends when it comes to you know, like cozy games and stuff like that. Like, I know in Palia you can cook together, and I think that they have that in a few other games too, and that's fine, and I think that's definitely helpful. But you know, I think this would also help out with, you know, a little bit more of just playing around and, you know, having fun, getting creative, sort of like giving us the tools but not giving us the rules to play, you know, so you can just kind of play how you want to, but here's a few things that you can do to kind of get some ideas for. But I think that would be a really cool idea, because again, like I said, you know, when it comes to cozy games, there isn't much to do. Like a working dartboard would even work, you know, like add like a little scoreboard to the dartboard and have it so we can actually throw darts at the dartboard, you know, instead of it just being stationary sitting on the wall. And the last thing I have on my list is greenhouse for special crops. So it'd be really cool if we can build a greenhouse, and then we can go into it with our Exa farmer, and we can plant different types of crops and seeds, maybe different types of flowers, maybe different types of trees that you can start off in the greenhouse, different types of like, you know, fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. Or, as I was talking about before with the changing seasons, this would now give you a chance to grow those crops that you normally wouldn't be able to grow during that season, you can grow them in the greenhouse, because that can be whatever season you want it to be. And then you can have multiple greenhouses per season. But I think that'd be a really cool idea too. Also, it would just kind of be a nice little visual sort of thing, even if you don't do it like with the different seasons and you're just using it for different types of experimental crops or whatever. They can also put something in the game where it's like you're trying to grow a special mutated crop that requires these conditions, and you have to balance that out in the greenhouse, and you can adjust, like, maybe, you know, you can get as detailed as you want with it, or it can be as simple as you want. But I think that'd be a really cool, also another really cool addition. But these are just my opinions. So how about you guys share yours with me down in the comments below, either something that I said that you guys liked, or maybe your own idea that you would like to see, you know, put into the game. And also, again, if you guys have any suggestions, be sure you guys join the Discord and, you know, talk to the developers in there and share your ideas and things you would like to see changed, improved, or like a list like this, you know, that I made. Do something like that. You know, share your ideas with the developers. These guys really do listen, and I'm not like a partner or nothing. I'm not getting paid to say any of this stuff. This is just a game I truly love, and I really want to see improve, get better, and actually get more popular, because I don't think it's getting the credit that it really deserves. I think this is one of the better underrated farming sims, cozy type games that are out there, and I really would like to see more people playing it and participating, and this grow a lot more. It wasn't an overnight sensation, but that's okay. You know, sometimes it takes time for this kind of stuff to grow. But I definitely think that all the seeds are planted for this to become something really awesome and really gorgeous, especially when they came out the Shifting Gears update. I know a lot of people were complaining about the changes that were made, but excuse me. I know when the Shifting Gears update came out, there was a few people that were complaining about the changes that were made, and even I had a few complaints at the beginning, but honestly, I think it was for the better. I like this map a lot more than I like the old one. I like the changes that they made to the mech and the way everything works. I feel that it's more satisfying to earn all that stuff and kind of like have that creativity that you can choose your own loadout, and you know, it really does help you play the game more your way, the way that you want to play it. The building mechanic was a huge game changer. I've struggled with it a bunch, but once you get it down and you learn how to do it, it's really not so bad. And honestly, it's really not that hard. There's a few videos out there that show you how to do it. I would put out a tutorial for that myself. I just don't feel confident in my building abilities to actually do that. All the stuff I've done has been pretty simple, and I had to struggle over numerous days of building and failing and things falling apart for me to actually finally get it. I had to do a lot of cutting down and stuff like that. So I'm not too sure I have it down to a T just yet, but I have it down enough to where I'm like, I can build a simple house and a barn. But yeah, that's that's gonna do it for my video. I'll be getting back to doing the tutorials and gameplay footage very soon. I have another episode to film with the ongoing series that's happening right now, and I'm gonna be playing some other games too. So we just hit 500 subscribers, so if you guys would like to help out, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoy this game, if you enjoy my other content, please consider subscribing. If you think I've earned it, I would appreciate a like on the video. It helps get the video out there. And again, comment down below on things you agree with, things you don't agree with, things you'd like to see in the game. Give me your ideas. Like, let's hear some stuff. You know, how about, you know, just be nice. Just be nice. I'm not perfect, but I'm trying. And yeah. So, and if you like this video, also consider sharing it out to your friends and get them to watch it. Hopefully we hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. but if not, we'll just continue trudging on into the next year. But that's gonna do it for me, everybody. This is AC Photo. Thank you guys all for sitting down and listening to me ramble, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have an amazing rest of your day, evening, wherever you are, and see ya.